Good afternoon, my friends. It's been a little minute since I did a video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the F1 movie, man. And let me tell you, player, they might as well have just called this Aura Farm the movie. This might as well have just been Brad Pitt Aura Farming time. Let me tell you. So, I wasn't too sure about what the movie was about. Like, I knew it was about racing. I knew it was about cars. But I was on a date, and she really, really wanted to see this movie. And I was like, anything for you, princess. Anything for you. So we went to go watch the movie, and it was slow at the start. It was definitely slow at the start. Like, it opened up with a race scene, which it was super cool. Brad Pitt won, which he doesn't win a lot, admittedly, in this film, but he still Aura farms. Like, he has the clothes. He does this thing. He does this thing with with a card where he shuffles like a deck of cards, and before he goes out and races, he puts a random card in his pocket. He's like very old school machismo cowboy type, you know. He's like old man. And it's such a good movie. Because throughout the film, like we learn his backstory. Like, he was a good racer. He was when he was young. His father, I believe, was in a pit crew, and you know, he had some talent, natural born talent. He was a kid out there racing with his idols, and he got into this super bad crash in Spain, and it broke him. It broke his legs. He should have never raced again. And after that, he just kind of went all lone wolf, you know, just started traveling, racing where he could. And as long as he was behind the wheel, he ain't have no problem. But one of his old friends, who was also in the racing business, has this team, and he reaches out to Mr. Brad Pitt and was like, "Hey, I remember you back in your prime. You're a good racer. We need you. And then Brad Pitt's like, no. I'm not going to do that. So it cuts to this younger racer. He's played by Franklin from Snowfall. Also, great performance on his end. He's a young, ambitious racer. He's really, really trying to, like, win. Like, he's trying to prove himself. And then Brad Pitt comes in, so the both of them are on the team together. And at first, they kind of butt heads. He sees Brad Pitt as like, "Who are you, old man? Like, times have changed. The future is now, you know?" And Brad Pitt's like, "Listen up, young buck. I'm going to show you a thing or two." And so, like, they butt heads for a little bit, but over time, they start working as a team, and it's like, it's really good to see. Like, Brad Pitt, he does a little bit of scheming while he's racing. Like, he purposely does things so, like, an emergency car has to come out, and like he can get the lead. The guy who played Franklin can get the lead. But what's it called? There's this race. They're doing pretty well. It starts raining, and the kid, he gets into the car crash. You know, he just flies off the track, car on fire, the whole shebang. And Brad Pitt is the first person there. He's the first person there to help. He takes a fire extinguisher from the guy, pulls him out of the car. Admittedly, like, there's no broken limbs. It wasn't as bad as his accident, but he's like, hands are all burnt up. He's taken out of commission for a few weeks. And in this time, that he's gone, in this little leave of absence, Brad Pitt is doing pretty well. He's racing. He's getting the team up, like, I guess, ranks. He's the thing that he does is like super old school, but he gets the whole team and he just runs around the track a few times. You know, nice little workout. He does things like he has two balls and he, like, bounces them off the wall, work on his hand-eye coordination, hits the pull-ups, hits the sit-ups, you know. Shout out Shadow the Hedgehog right there. You know, that's my goat. But yeah, so he's a cool guy, you know, old dude, you know, teaching things to people. He's the first one there in the morning, last one there to leave, super dedicated. He's also just such a cool guy. Like he aura farms. He aura farms. I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to see Brad Pitt aura farm, this is the film. This is the film. Yeah. So he comes back. They start. He's like, hey, missed ya. We missed you here. Because he really does care for the kid, and like he sees the accident that the kid had, and he's like, reminds me of me a little bit, reminds me of when I had my accident. So he's obviously worried about the kid, and they have been building a bond, just for him to come back with the mentality that you did this on purpose. You knew it was gonna happen, and you're just trying to steal the thunder. You tried to sabotage me. So it's heartbreaking to see for a little bit. It's heartbreaking to see for a little bit because they're beefing for a good minute. And then she's not the pit crew lady. She's the one who builds the cars or like designs the cars, I suppose. Her and Brad Pitt have this little flirtation going on, right? So she coordinates a poker game between Brad Pitt and I think his name was JP. Shout out John Pork. But yeah, so they're like, okay, the winner of this gets to be, the first driver at the race tomorrow. And Brad Pitt, although he could have won because his character, in like the time that he wasn't racing, was a professional gambler, he let the kid win so that way that the kid could have like a chance at like proving himself, right? And it was super sweet, and I'm like, Aura Farm, more king. We love that. Yeah, so it gets to the last race. They're doing very well. They're working as a team. They're taking risks. They had like the soft tires on, which I guess is bad. I don't know about F1 racing, but soft tires, no. But it gets down to them and one last guy, and I believe he was in the Lamborghini. The kid gets taken out of commission a little bit. He starts hitting up. So it's just down to Brad Pitt and this last racer. And mind you, Brad Pitt has felt like a failure this whole time because his career ended before it could even start. But he had a promising career. He was a rookie. He was pulling numbers. He was like prime Lightning McQueen almost. And now he has the opportunity to win first place in a race. And so he's driving, and he starts having like, not an episode, but he starts like getting blurry vision, starts, like, oh shoot, but in the end, he does win the race. He starts crying. He did it. He finally proved to himself and proved to the kid, proved to everyone out there that he had what it took. He always had what it took, and he finally showed it, and it was a really satisfying moment to see that unfold. Like, we watched this whole movie, him just like feeling down on himself, him just getting better, him pushing himself, working as a team, learning to get out of his comfort zone, and it paid off. It did really pay off because he won. And then after that, he goes down, or he leaves. He doesn't stick around with the team. He kind of like passes the torch on to the kid. He's like, hey, this is your team now. And the kid is like, it's always been my team, man. It's always been my team. Which I thought was funny. They had really good chemistry on set. Even when they were like butting heads, it was like, ooh, this feels real, man. Like, this movie was good. This movie was so good. But yeah, and that's about it. It was such a good movie. In the end, he ends up just getting his van, because he lived in his van, which I thought was pretty funny. I'm like, you're so real for that. If I had a van, I would probably live in it too. But yeah, he goes down to Baja, California, where they're looking for a driver, and he's like, shit, here we go again. It was a good film. I recommend you watch it. A lot of great actors, a lot of great performances, great story, great visuals. Let me tell you, the race scenes, I was like, I've never been a big like NASCAR guy, you know, like I think the most I've ever watched was this one episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Hal takes the kids out and they get into some shenanigans at a NASCAR race. But yeah, it was a good film. Brad Pitt ate or farmed. That's all I can say. Thank y'all for watching. It's been a nice little 10-minute video. Love y'all.